What is going on, guys? Chevy invited me out to West Hollywood to check out the new Chevy Blazer EV. It actually looks pretty cool. Let's roll. I love the cone and trash can detection on the Tesla. Apparently the event is in this massive design center. Here we go, inside the green building. Next to me is the 2024 Chevy Blazer EV, and it's set to compete against the likes of the Mustang Mach-E and the Tesla Model Y. With a 320-mile range and incredibly aggressive, gorgeous looks, this thing is set to make waves in the midsize SUV market. The new Blazer EV is built on GM's Ultium platform, which has a flexible architecture in terms of its batteries and can be used for a ton of different vehicles. They actually use this platform on the Hummer EV as well as the Cadillac Lyriq, and now they're using it on the Chevy Blazer and soon the Silverado as well as the Equinox. Now, it comes in a variety of different trim levels, but the one that you and I care about is this, the top of the line SS. It's pretty cool. It's actually the first time that Chevy has ever used the Super Sport designation on an electric vehicle. And for good reason, it packs some serious power. 557 horsepower, 648 pound-feet of torque, and it even has this mode called WOW mode, or wide open watts, that allows it to sprint from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. Standard with all-wheel drive, and the SS will cost you $66,000. The good news is there are lower level trims like the 1LT that'll start at just 45 grand. Design-wise, the new Blazer EV is epic. It's aggressive, it's gorgeous, but it doesn't scream, I'm a green-friendly EV. Now, in standard form, the car is monochromatic, it comes with 19-inch wheels, but in SS form, it's got this unique two-tone grille, standard 22-inch wheels, and in RS and SS form, we have these really cool, unique lighting features. So when you walk up to the car with the key, it welcomes you with a unique little lighting sequence. When you walk away from the car, when you're done with it, it has a goodbye sequence. And it even illuminates this bow tie, and when you're charging it, how cool is this? You can tell how much the car has been charged from outside the vehicle by seeing the intensity and the speed at which the LEDs illuminate on the front of the car. How crazy is that? The moment I stepped inside of the Blazer EV, I literally said, oh my God, I am unbelievably impressed with the interior of this car. Check out the gorgeous displays. We've got a 17.7-inch display for the multimedia system. I love the fact that it's not squared off. It's got this cool curved architecture to it, and the screen itself doesn't just end, it's actually morphed in with that curve. So we've got pixels going out to the edge of the screen, which I think is super awesome. I also love the fact that they've maintained some hard controls. It's not fully digital. Like in the Tesla, the volume controls are on the screen, the climate controls are on the screen. It can be a bit complicated. We've got this gorgeous volume knob right here on the screen itself. Pretty awesome. And then we've got some hard controls for the air conditioning vents as well. Speaking of the vents, if we go over to the passenger side vent, kind of styled after airplane turbines, look how cool this is. And I love that unique material and design used on the vent itself. Now, the vents actually house ambient lighting. We've got ambient lighting as standard on the car, and if you go to the SS or RS trims, you actually get more customizable features in the ambient lighting. Moving on to the center display for the instrument cluster, we've got an 11-inch unit that looks gorgeous. I like the shape of it as well. Now, if we look at this part right here on the steering wheel, this actually illuminates in different colors when you activate Chevy's Super Cruise. So Chevy's Super Cruise, it's kind of like Tesla's autopilot. It's got essentially a level of full self-driving where you can take your hands off the wheel, the car will steer itself in the lane, speed itself up, and slow itself down. Now you'll notice there's actually a little paddle on the steering wheel behind here. That changes the level of brake regeneration. From you can turn it all the way off so that it slows down kind of like a normal car to really intense, so you can basically drive with one pedal. Take your foot off the accelerator and it'll slow itself down. I love the contrast color seats in the SS trim. You can even get microfiber suede in the SS, as well as some contrasted stitching options in the other models as well. Now let's go into the rear seats. Because of this architecture, it's got so much space in the back. In the back of the Blazer now, look at the amount of legroom I have. I'm 5'11", sitting behind how I would be in the front, and I have endless legroom. Apparently there was another journalist here earlier who was 6'5" and could comfortably sit behind somebody who was 6'5", which is really, really impressive. Love the design on the seats, these little kind of Z patterns are really cool. We've got these nice turbine air vents right here, USB-C charging as well. But really, what's so impressive about this car is its width. It's 78 inches wide, so you could sit 3 full-size adults, no problem. And because it's an electric car, we don't have that hump in the middle, so you've got plenty of room for your feet, even in the second row. We've also got this beautiful panoramic sunroof up here. All right, guys, I'm here with Justin Salmon, senior designer for Chevy. What can you tell me about this beautiful car?
Well, we really had fantastic proportions to work with Ultium. Really, that longer wheelbase and wider vehicle stance are a designer's dream. So, up front we have this full-width LED lighting signature that is highly functional as you walk up to the vehicle. It kind of greets you with a bit of choreography.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, same as when you're kind of leaving the vehicle. It kind of gives you a sense of when the vehicle is powering down. So it really starts to be a communication point between the vehicle and the EV owner. Also, it can display charging status, and that animation can be a really helpful functional cue as well. So that sequence will kind of become more intense and move a little bit quicker as your charging status changes. And so all that is going to make it really seamless kind of walking up to the vehicle and understanding what's going on.
I think this is going to become an industry standard, having some sort of exterior lighting representing charging. Looks nice.
The team really killed it.
Yeah, no, they absolutely did. So what about interior related design?
So I think all that width that we got out of Ultium, that's super apparent when you get into the inside of the vehicle. As you open it up, you're first greeted by that sense of spaciousness. Kind of front and center as you're looking on, one of the first things you'll notice is our expansive virtual cockpit system.
Yep.
And that's that kind of 17.7-inch diagonal display in the center, kind of working with our 11-inch cluster. So that really sets the tone. Having that center display a little bit more tilted toward the driver creates what we call a kind of driver-centric flavor to the interior. So really drawing on our performance heritage.
And was that inspired at all by the C8 Corvette? It's kind of a little bit similar of screen layout.
Yeah, glad you're picking up on that. Definitely had a lot of those vehicles in mind and some of the ergonomic learnings there, but really tuning that and finding the right balance for this segment. I think where we landed was something super dramatic that has a sense of presence that really catches your eye as you open up to the interior.
And can you tell me about what kind of design or materials this is? I mean, both of these are really unique and cool looking. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, we're really excited about using a two-shot execution. It really allows us to play with the way material interacts, and we strategically placed it in places we wanted to highlight. So the round vents, which are kind of a key heritage element for design for Chevrolet, is something we really wanted to highlight with this refined detail and really celebrating those materials. So we find it to be a really authentic approach, really leveraging the translucency in the material instead of covering up with something insincere.
Yeah.
We're super proud of that approach, and it really keys into that performance-focused kind of flavor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I think right now in the SS, you're seeing our adrenaline red combination with the black, and we'll be catering to our wide range of tastes, kind of from the LT all the way up to the SS. So in addition to these really bold combinations, you can look for more sophisticated, understated pairings of things on the grayscale spectrum and playing up those accent stitches. So there's going to be a lot of choice for the customer, and I think people are really going to love the variety.
We're here with Doug Houlihan, Executive Chief Engineer for the Chevy Blazer EV.
Well, Parker, we're really proud of the 2024 Chevy Blazer EV. It starts with the Ultium platform, a propulsion system designed from the ground up, modular in its capability across GM's entire portfolio. And on the Blazer EV, if we can go around here, basically we have 3 different battery sizes, and we took the largest battery size and set the wheelbase. So we pushed the wheels further front to back, gave us a very low center of gravity, integrated the underbody across that, have a really, really stiff body structure, and a flat load floor, as you saw earlier when we were inside the vehicle. And then this vehicle, this is the Blazer EV SS, which has this outstanding capability with 557 horsepower and 684 foot-pounds of torque. And we got the WOW feature, that wide open watts, that just takes a little bit extra current from the inverter, injects it into the system, and now you get 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds. And also standard on the SS, the Super Cruise, the industry first hands-free driving experience that's compatible here on the US and Canada roads.
Very cool. Now, we were talking a little bit, this car has a 2-tone paint scheme. You can get the 1LT base model if you wanted to. You could get a black roof.
Sure.
Very cool.
So we got the ability with the paint shop to be able to make it monochromatic or be able to have a 1LT, 2LT to have a 2-tone roof. And we can pick different colors as well.
Very cool.
And talk a little bit about drivetrain.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we got front drive on the 1LT, and we have front drive and all-wheel drive on the 2LT. And then when we get to the RS model, we step up with the rear-wheel drive. And then we also have on this SS a performance all-wheel drive system.
Gotcha.
And with that, we get 290 miles of range. On our rear-wheel drive, we get 320. And even on our entry-level 1LT, 247 miles of range.
And that starts at $45,000, $46,000?
46.
Wow.
And then also some other things that I think are noteworthy are the 11 kilowatt onboard charging module that gives, you know, level 2 charging capability at home and public use. And then we have the DC fast charge capability as well with 190 kilowatts, 78 miles in just under 10 minutes of charge. So I think our customers are really
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Now, what's the charging infrastructure like? When you buy a car like this, where do you go and charge it? How many chargers are available?
There's 7 or 8 that we're affiliated with that we can help our customers reach through our infotainment system.
Gotcha.
And then also we have a system through General Motors where you can purchase a home charging system, and we really help you through that whole process,
Very cool.
including the electrical contractor.
And then there's like route planning apps, and you can basically, if you're wanting to go to a certain destination far away, you can go either on their website, as you were saying, or on the app or in the car and actually plan your route, making sure you're stopping at the appropriate charge stations to make it all the way. And you were saying 78 miles of charge in 10 minutes or less?
Yeah,
That's
with
pretty
the DC
impressive.
fast charge, yeah.
Very,
Exactly.
very cool.
And some other technology here. We have regen braking. We have one pedal driving. We have this presence-based liftgate, which is pretty cool. You just walk up to it with the key fob in your
Gotcha.
in your proximity, and the liftgate will automatically open, and then you can put the groceries in or your cargo.
Can we check that feature out?
Sure.
So tell me more about the proximity feature. I'm used to cars where you walk up and maybe you can kick your foot underneath here and half the time it doesn't work. You've got a new innovative solution to that?
We call it the presence-based liftgate system. So basically, with the key fob in your possession, you walk up to the vehicle. Let's say you have groceries in your hand or luggage, and the vehicle
That is
liftgate
cool.
will open up. You don't have to take anything out. You can go ahead and put your luggage in, and then liftgate will close.
And then some extra storage down here and folding seats as well?
Yep, 60/40 seats, and really good packaging on the inside. That Ultium battery packaging I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, we could take a look at when you talk with Justin here about that flat load floor. And 78 inches of cross vehicle width is, I think, going to be extremely well appreciated by our customers. You got 3 people across, and you know, just earlier today we had another journalist that was taking a look at the package, and 6'5", like an offensive lineman,
Wow.
sitting in the back seat. And he just couldn't believe on just how much room there was. And then he went in the front seat and the same thing. And we actually have the panoramic sunroof in here as well, so plenty of headroom and just a good overall package.
I gotta say, with the width too, it just looks mean and aggressive. That wider track, and then it's got a low center of gravity because of the batteries. It's pretty impressive.
And a great structural feel. Just at the Proving Grounds a couple of weeks ago, and you know, it hit a couple of bumps, and it just feels like, is that all you got?
Very
It
cool.
just
And it's
takes
independent suspension, front and rear?
Front and rear. And track-tuned chassis for our SS model.
Very
We
cool.
have summer tires and all-season tires, so if you want to go track, we offer the summer tire package. We got the front Brembo brakes, and just 22-inch wheels and ready to roll.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate
All right,
it.
thanks,
I'm
Mark.
excited for this thing. Thanks so much to Chevy for inviting me to check out the new Blazer EV. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.